42 unit apartment BRRRR strategy update. We've owned this property for 6 months now. We've made some changes. We've done some rebranding. We want to bring you guys in and show you guys where we're at on the business plan. Be able to talk you through the BRRRR strategy so we can help you get into the multifamily real estate game. Let's break it down. Okay, so we've owned this deal now for about 6 months. Where are we on the business plan? It's another BRRRR deal for us. It's not really your property until 1 year, and every property takes a year to figure out.
I would say so.
Please elaborate.
So we just got the keys at closing and we came in blind, right? You get the rent roll, you get everything that you ask for, but you don't really know the property till you're actually here and you see like what's actually going on.
Knowing what you know now, what are things they should be looking for? So there's not too many surprises, because maybe if I'm listening to this, well, I'm like, well, I don't want surprises.
I think it's just like little things about like renewals are a big one, right? Like what is the previous owners talking to the tenants about renewals? Even just what's the renewal process? Here, there's utility bill back. What's their utility bill back process? Just like the ins and outs of how they run the business. A couple other things too is like there's all this like extra space, like there's a gym and a common area and things like that. What was that being used for? What is all of this stuff that was just like left in the building? You don't think that's a big deal, but like in these rooms there was all this stuff. Do these fridges work? Are they like in working order? What do we have to do with all this stuff? The maintenance room was trash. So just like stuff like that to get to know the property.
You're looking for creative ways to make money, and when you guys see what we did creatively with this property that is going to add so much to the NOI, it's just mind-blowing. This office we're filming this in right now, what was in here?
Junk.
Yeah, just junk. Just junk. But as you see, we turned it into a nice little meeting room and podcast studio, and we'll get to all that. Was this worse than expected, better than expected, right in the middle? This
probably
property
in the middle.
Okay. All right. So we did our due diligence, right? Anything on a BRRRR strategy deal like due diligence, they should really be looking for. Renewals is huge, because not to talk about our 100 unit, but they told everyone there, we're not renewing you.
Yeah, they said they couldn't.
We can't renew you because we're selling. So they go, okay, I'm going to go find somewhere else to live.
Right. So for like this first 3 months,
move out. No, most tenants start looking how long before their lease.
It depends. If they're asking, they're told they can't renew, of course they're going to start looking.
So those are things you have to be aware of. Like she said, you don't find out until you take over. Anything else in their due diligence heavy they need to look for on a BRRRR strategy deal?
Yeah, I think too, really paying attention to your inspection report. These are things that are negotiated in like to your sale price, but you want to be aware of that, of like what your expenses are going to be when you take over.
One question I always get asked is, how do you find the best BRRRR deals? There are properties on the market marketed as like, or properties we get sent marketed as value add. But then when you really look at all the work you're going to do to it, the price they're asking, there's barely margin there. There's barely like profit there to be made. Do you remember what the NOI was when we bought this deal? $179,000. Let's pull out our calculators again, because you guys know the magic formula: NOI divided by cap rate. This property appraised at a 6% cap rate, because this is Birmingham, Michigan. Probably as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Building was worth $3 million on paper. So again, you guys are always like, nothing's worth what it is. It's overpriced. Yeah, it is overpriced. We paid just under like $6 million for this. I got excited though, because this was ran by third-party management. So this was part of a large group of syndicators. There were 4 partners on that deal. They owned thousands of units throughout the state, and they're bigger units, 100 units plus. They did all in-house management. But then they had this property. It was like an outlier for them. This one was too small for their in-house management to come out here, so they utilized third party. At one time, this property was 60% occupied.
Yeah, it was.
We're in an A+ area like Birmingham, Ann Arbor, Royal Oak. These are places where you should have a wait list.
Right.
When we saw they had a better third-party management, who, shout out to them, when we took over, they were probably the best I've seen. The expenses were so high. You remember how much their payroll was? What's payroll and contract services for people listening?
Yeah, so payroll is like your managers, your maintenance technicians, leasing agents, landscape, snow removal, your contracts.
What are other stupid contracts you've seen? Band-Aids?
Yeah.
Seriously?
No, people do that. Yeah.
Band-Aid company?
There's a service for everything. Printers, obviously there's stuff you need, but like there's companies that will come in and charge more for those types of services.
So $179,000 profit on the business. Guess how much their payroll, and this is 42 units, guys. Guess how much their payroll and contract services were? $70,000 to manage a 42 unit. Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I think ours would end up being like, what, 25 grand?
Yeah.
Something like that. When you guys see third-party management, get excited. Because if you're an owner and operator, what we're pushing you guys to do, and this is why, when people come to us, we say you got to manage your own deals, because that is where all the money is made. If we just took over from that third-party manager, we'd be doing maybe a little bit better, but not much better, because that's their cost to run the business. Right. When you're a lean, mean operating machine, you can operate it so much better. When I'm looking at this, most people have said it's overpriced. Nope, forget it. I got excited through the roof. I said, oh my God, we can just start cutting stuff. Back to when people are like, how are you guys adding so much value when you're not redoing units? I'm going to show you a unit in a minute here. You tell me what you would do to this unit. It's already redone, but you look at the expense column and you see where all the waste and the inefficiencies are, and you just schwack it.
I mean, we just had something this week. During the inspection, there was some flooding in the hallways. So we know we have to take care of that, and the previous owners are like, oh yeah, this happens all the time, and you almost want to cancel the inspection.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, it's raining. I'm like, I don't want to walk in the rain. She's like, no, idiot. She's like, we do it. She's like, we do it when it's raining because you can see the leaks and stuff. So I'm telling you, guys, get you an Andrea.
Gotta put your raincoat on and get out there for your inspection.
Comment below if you want Andrea to write a book on property management. So the flooding came in. We had quotes for $100,000.
Oh my gosh. So we had our maintenance guy come out, and he's like, you know, you have a pump right out there. You have French drains in here. That's what they said. Everyone was quoting us $100 grand, $80 grand to redo the whole courtyard, put in these French drains for. He's like, you already have everything. The pump's just broken. So $500.
$500.
I saw the water flowing out yesterday.
$100,000 quote that a third party manager would have just said, we need to do this.
Yeah, because I mean, how would we know if we weren't here? You have to trust that they're actually giving you 3 quotes, but we got 2 at $150. So like not being at the property day to day, I would have been like, well, what are we supposed to do? We have to fix the courtyard.
That's the power of on-site management. Because if you had a third party company, you would have just had to do one of those quotes. Think that contractor's going to tell you there's already a drain there? Maybe.
No, that's why they were quoting us for that price.
Rents were $900 when we took over. What are we renting at now?
We've been running some rent specials. Well, I would say $1,200 on average.
Plus bill backs and fees.
Yeah, this is just base rent.
I think on average with everything in there, it's over $1,300. So again, $900 with no fees, nothing. $900 base rent to $1,300 all in, huge value add. And really a big thing we started doing was reputation management. So this was one of the first ones too we took over because there were so many different property managers. Horrible reviews on Google. Strategic value add, right? We added value by improving the reputation. So what are some of the things we did? We rebranded it, went from Birmingham Flats to Stephan Woods, which, you know, is also marketing for Andrea and I and our business and her brokerage, right? Talk about the community events, the hands-on management being here, all those things you've done for reputation management, and that has boost renewals.
Yeah, we have somebody here all the time, whether it's like a real estate agent, there's always a face here. We made these into offices, right? So before, if a manager was here, they were just sitting in the common area. So I think too, like people like that, it's a little bit more of a professional setting. So we're available to them 9 to 5 if they need it. We've done some things too, just like little things. I mean, we're in a really nice area, just like snacks in the mailroom for them. When spring comes around, like some like yard games in the courtyard. The units are a smaller size, so we really want to utilize the common areas and make it more of like an additional living space for them.
Put a lot of the money into the common areas. Reputation management is everything. Taking care of the tenants, and we focused heavily here on renewals. You lose money when people move out, and we've done the math. It's a pretty crazy thing. It is better to get a $25 rental increase than someone move out and you can get a $200 rental increase in 2 to 3 months. Someone moves out, what do you immediately have to pay for?
Turning the unit.
Unit turn on average could cost how much? On average.
Full unit turn company, $1,500 maybe.
We had third party management. It was like easily $3,000 to $5,000.
Okay, if you're talking third party, yeah.
Call it $2,000.
Yeah.
$2,000 in vacancy. Someone's got to lease it. So you're going to have to pay commission to somebody, either your team or you got to go do it. So what's the price of your time? So when you factor in all of that, even if you get a $100, $200 rental increase, you're better off just taking the $25 rent bump and you keep the heads in the beds. You make your money on the renewal. And that's something we've learned and we come in and do too. We just focus on the good tenants who stay and pay. We keep them here. All right, so remember our magic formula, NOI divided by your cap rate equals your valuation. If you ever need to know the cap rate, just call a broker, call us here at the Stephan Group, and we're happy to help you with that. This building appraised at a 6% cap rate. For this example, we're just gonna utilize the cap rate. I told you guys, I paid like just under 6 million. I had a little bit of a credit there that reduced the purchase price, but we can say 6 million. The old NOI, when we took over, 179 divided by 0.06, because it's just 6%, expressed as a decimal there. Let's do this together. Pull your calculator out, do this with me. This building was barely worth $3 million. Our NOI, year one, we're 6 months into it, projected $478,000. Come on, leave some love in the comment section. That is what we do as operators based on a lot of the things we were just talking about earlier today. Again, this is projected. We don't have the full year. Make sure you follow along, subscribe on the YouTube channel because I'm going to show you the full year. I'm going to show you the refinance when we do. I'm going to show you the sale. I show you everything in the journey to help you in your journey because I want you to get into this game. So 478,000 divided by 0.06. What is the building going to be worth? Do it with me. This building would be worth 7.9 million. So was it worth it? That's what I paid. That was the old value. That's my new value in 1 year. That is the BRRRR strategy. No heavy rehabs, no major construction, just strategic value add. Lowering, big thing we did here was lowering those expenses and creating value add. Now, something I want to talk to you about. This place was really creative and I loved it for this reason. We have 4 offices in this building, which is huge. So for us, we own a real estate brokerage. But even say if I didn't own a real estate brokerage, what I would have done, I would go to local business owners and I would create a mini co-working space. I would rent out these offices. Again, being creative. You as a private owner and operator can be more creative than a big management company. And again, a big syndicator group. They're not worried about a 42 unit property when they own 4,000 units. But you as the nimble small investor, we can win in this game when we think creatively. So there are 4 offices here. We went out and rented the 4 offices out. Well, we redid them first, as you can see here. It's really nice. These were just like bombed out. There was just a bunch of clutter in here. My brokerage rents one of them out. And then we have Linda, a mortgage broker, and we have a title company in here. But you could have done that too. You could have rented them out to anyone who needed offices. These dead space that was producing no income now generates $60,000 in annual income for the property. That is huge. But remember, it's not just about the $60,000 in income. I don't care about that. I care about the valuation increase. So do 60,000 divided by a 6% cap rate. That's $1 million in valuation right there. By taking empty space that the old management company did nothing with and renting it out. I've also done this on a barn on my 7 unit. Go watch that video because we've done that. We took an empty barn that wasn't renting, had nothing in it, had a bunch of like old appliances. We rented it for $250 a month, 12 months out of the year. That's $3,000. And that's a great area too, Northville, Michigan. Appraised at a 6% cap rate divided by 0.06. That's $50,000 in valuation. Empty barn, empty office space. Guys, it's not just about heavily redoing units. Yes, that's a way to force value, but I like this stuff because it's a lot more fun to redo an office space, to turn a broom closet into a nice office space and get co-working in here and get other businesses in here than doing some crazy, dirty, disgusting rehab. So get creative. This is the game. It's all about the NOI. If you can increase the income, decrease the expenses, you can make this property more valuable. So before we go check out a unit, let me know any questions on this. Let me know, drop in the comment section below. Again, teaching you from our real life example so you can do this. If we can do this, you can do this. I want you to do this. I want you to get a property. I want you to go through this process because when you do it, I get satisfaction from that, knowing you're learning from this because this game is life-changing and you got to get in it. All right, so let's check out one of our units. So these are all private entrances. So this is a vacant unit. This unit is leased up.
Come in today to get the keys and sign the lease.
This is a upgraded asset. I mean, this is beautiful granite countertops. These are nice brand new cabinets, stainless steel appliances. This is not a property you're like, I'm gonna put quartz in. You're like, oh, I'm gonna put soft close in. The value is in the operation. So we saw here an A+ location because you can't change
location.
You can't change location. We saw a beautiful product. All units have in-unit dishwasher. Plank flooring here, carpet in there, which you could do vinyl plank flooring through there. Look at a property like this and you say, I have to operate it better. It's even more of a value add when it's already upgraded.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have like really any maintenance things here.
No maintenance requests. It was purely just the expenses were so high. It was a management company who didn't manage the asset.
Right.
Do you do anything that I just am not aware of? Really, all they do is just like manage the operations better.
You kind of touched on before of like the vacancy.
90 days out, we're pushing for renewals.
Right.
So that's huge. That's operations and management. To redo a unit like this, you're talking what, 15, 20 grand? if this was like just a classic.
Yeah, at least 15 grand.
And the managing of the contractor and the managing of the budget, and then materials go up, materials go down, the contractors don't show up. All the while you're having what? Vacancy.
Right.
So big, when we showed that old NOI, that 179,000, a big part of that was vacancy. They just don't have renters in there and they're just not collecting rent. So that's a huge part of it. You want to show them the rest of the unit?
Yeah.
So comment below, what do you guys think? Would you live here? And does that make sense? It's about, to me too, it's about the path of least resistance. I want to get to that NOI the easiest way possible. So if I don't have to manage an entire construction crew in here, redoing this, renovating all this, it's an easier process. Could you imagine managing an entire crew renovating 42 units?
No.
It's a different business model.
Yeah, it's something we can't imagine.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there are people who do
that. Yeah.
And they're not good operators. That was the 100-unit building. We bought it, they beautifully redid it, but they're like, we're not gonna manage it. So they took it their cycle, then we took it over. So back to what Andrea always talks about, what are your goals and what are you good at? That's the key to anything in business.
A lot of people have like a kitchen table here and then like this is their living room space.
How do they overcome that? Oh, it's too small.
Yeah, so there we have a common area too, a clubhouse that they can use for extra space. So if they have like friends, family over, they can use that space as well. If you want to like help them measure their furniture.
Huge.
With them moving, like what are they getting back from like their security deposit? Their security deposit might be less here. You could use those funds to purchase new furniture.
You and the manager will measure to show them that their stuff fits. Remember guys, objections are not no, they are just, I need more information.
Yeah, so we have the bedroom here, nice closet. These do fit a queen size bed. And then we have the bathroom too. The fan is a big thing too in the smaller unit because a lot of people ask like how's the air conditioning in the summer and things like that. And not all apartment buildings allow fans.
All right, as always, thank you guys so much for being here. If you found the episode valuable, drop a comment in the comment section. Again, we show you our real life experiences with real estate to help you get in this game. I want you in this game. I get fulfillment and excitement when you guys are commenting in the comment section that you're buying deals, you're doing deals. So as always, just get in the game, learn from our experiences, but most importantly, take action. There's enough real estate for all of us to be winning right now. If you need free resources, click the link in the description. Got my free ebook, free masterclass, and free due diligence checklist. If they want to learn about the Stephan Group brokerage and potentially use our brokerage to get a great multifamily deal in Metro Detroit, where do they go?
Then go to StephanGroupRealEstate.com.
StephanGroupRealEstate.com, or shoot Andrea or myself a DM on Instagram. As always, if there's ever anything we can do for you, drop in the comment section. Don't hesitate to reach out. Until next time, we'll talk soon. Thanks.